of the ANAP Foundation and the president and founder of ANAP Foundation, Chief Atedo Peter. Thanks so much for coming tonight.
Mr. Atedo Peter, I'm not the chief.
Someone will call you chief.
No, I'm not the chief.
And maybe because you look like one.
Back in River State, they will find me if I make a false claim.
Mr. Peter, thank you so much for coming. All right, I'd like to look at what happened because your organization and NOI poll, you conducted presidential poll in 2011, in 2015, and 2019. And let me just show Nigerians what the outcome of those polls were. In 2011, ANAP and NOI, the result of the polls showed that Goodluck Jonathan eventually could win the election when people were asked who they will vote for. 53% says that he will win the April presidential election, and there was a performance appraisal of 68% on the then president Goodluck Jonathan, and he emerged the winner of that election. In 2015, it does look different, and the incumbent losing in that poll was something that was strange to a lot of people. But eventually, the poll looked like it was with about 2% point lead, 32% of Muhammadu Buhari of the APC at the time, emerging after 4 times becoming Nigeria's president, which the poll predicted, which happened with Peter side, and 30% of the incumbent, which was a very tough chew for a lot of people who didn't understand how the science played out. In 2019, yet again, like the words of a prophet, it looked so much like ANAP and NOI poll result was proven right. With the poll showed that about a third of the vote were going to go for Muhammadu Buhari, and a quarter of that will go for Atiku Abubakar, which eventually, but the outcome showed that Muhammadu Buhari of the APC emerged winning of the ANAP Foundation and the president and founder of ANAP.
Yes, greetings to you fellow Nigerians across the world, for wherever you are joining us from. Yes, this is the Comrade Show, and if you are obedient out there, you have reasons to be happy, to be smiling, and of course you have reasons to encourage yourself to know that the job that you've been doing is of course paying off. This is a recent poll, conducted by the ANAP Foundation, and the reason why I played that excerpt earlier is to establish, some recent history with ANAP Foundation and the polls they conduct. And it goes to show that in the last 3 presidential windows, they've, conducted their polls, and Nigerians have voted in line with the polls conducted by the ANAP Foundation, which means that this is something to be taken seriously. And so we're going to do some little analysis of this. We are not carried away as obedient. Definitely we are not carried away. The reason is because there's so much work to be done. This is December. We are just edging closer to the elections. January is going to be very pivotal, but we need to see, how much, how far we have come with the obedience movement, and of course with the prospect of having Peter Obi become the president of Nigeria. This is very important, it's very instructive, because the average Benima says that when you are pounding your yam, in the mortar, and you are seeing the yam that you are pounding, of course you are encouraged, you understand, to pound even harder, because the product of your effort is being seen. And what this simply means, is that the effort of the obedience worldwide, making all the efforts to make Peter Obi become president of Nigeria. And of course, galvanize that new Nigeria, a hope for a new Nigeria, and all of that. That Nigeria rebirth, it's definitely something very much in sight. So I have looked at the recent polls, that came out on the 22nd of December, conducted by, is it 27th or what's the date again? Conducted by ANAP Foundation, December actually, 2022, and to be very honest, there's so much for us to smile about, but there's so much work to do. There's so much areas to improve on. But let's not forget, in September, Anna Foundation actually conducted, a similar poll. And in all of these polls, Peter Obi is very much in the lead. Everybody, in fact, they are all just chasing. Peter Obi is very much in the lead, doing better in many of those areas. But let's look at what the poll, did say in September, of this year, 2022. But that's a recent one. We want to look at what the poll said in September, and of course, from there we start, making our analysis of these, of the polls itself. Now, in September of this year, this was a poll as released. Peter Obi overall was having 21% of the total, number of Nigerians polled, with Bola Ahmed Tinubu coming second with 13%, and Atiku Abubakar tied with Bola Ahmed Tinubu on 13%, and Rabi Kwankwaso on 3%, and all of that. Now, when you go by the way of regions, as far as this poll is concerned, and you see how the candidates are doing, according to the various regions, as it were, in the Northeast, for instance, Peter Obi, in September was scoring about 4%. In the North Central was scoring 16%. In the Northwest was scoring 8%. In the Southeast was scoring 68%. In the South Side was scoring 46%. And the Southwest, he was scoring 12%, as you can see there. And if you look at Tinubu, for instance, he was doing 18% in the Northeast. North Central 16%, which will be right there. In the Northwest, he was doing 15%. Of course, in the Southeast, he was scoring 0. In the South Side, he was scoring 2%, and the Southwest was scoring 18%. Atiku Abubakar, on the other hand, was scoring 28% in the Northeast, 9% in the North Central, 20% in the Northwest, 1% in the Southeast, 6% in the South, and of course 4% in the Southwest. That's for Atiku Abubakar. So our major focus really is on these three, major, candidates. Where we add Rabi Kwankwaso to the matter, to the equation, as it were. Now, that was what the poll, what the poll showed in September of this year. But currently, looking at the recent ANAP, the December poll by ANAP Foundation, I think we have so much reasons to be encouraged. Generally, Peter Obi is now scoring 23%. He has moved from 21% in September now on 23%, and that is very, very, is enormously encouraging, to say the least. Is very, very encouraging, and when you look at it, Tinubu has remained on 30%, with this recent December poll. Meanwhile, Atiku Abubakar dropped to 10%, of the totality of the poll. Now, the interesting aspect of this is this, and that's what I want to show us. In the North Central, in September, North Central, you can see it right there. In North Central, in September, Peter Obi, I think it was marginally okay in North Central. Peter Obi was scoring about in North Central. Peter Obi was scoring 16%. 16% in North Central. But currently, Peter Obi is soaring higher. Currently Peter Obi in North Central is now scoring 24%. In September in North Central, Peter Obi was on 16%, which means Peter Obi has done very well right now in the North Central. As a matter of fact, Peter Obi is actually right now in the lead as far as the North Central is concerned, and that's very encouraging news, particularly for those that have said, have been very bothered about how Peter Obi is going to do in the North. But we can see so much increase, right now. Right now, Peter Obi is now doing 24% in North Central. He has in all the areas. If in the Northeast, for instance, if we look at the poll in the Northeast, In the North State in September, in the Northeast, Peter Obi was doing 4% in September in the Northeast. You know, now currently Peter Obi in the Northeast, I show you that in the Northeast is doing 8%, which is a huge increase. You know, and all of that. You understand what I'm saying? Now, so because my focus on this particular broadcast is to show the obedience that we are doing so much work, and what we are doing is paying off. Peter Obi is doing better, much better. Now, there's an area of concern, you know, which is another reason why I'm trying to, do this broadcast. You know, and that area of concern, you know, happens to be the Southeast. In September, Peter Obi was doing 68% in the Southeast. 68%. You can see it right there. 6% in the Southeast in September. 68%. You know, that you can see right there. But currently, the same, you know, Southeast, Peter Obi is now doing 50%. 50% in the Southeast. Okay? That is still very much massive, particularly when you compare to others. Tinubu is doing 1% in Southeast. Abubakar is doing 1% in Southeast. Peter Obi is doing 50% in the Southeast. Well, we don't know why that dropped from 68% to 50% and all of that. Of course, there are so many factors that can be responsible for this. In the South, another very encouraging sign. In September, Peter Obi was doing 46% in the South, 46%. Whereas Bola Tinubu was doing 2% in the South. Atiku was doing 6% in the South. Now in December, Peter Obi remains on 46% in the South. With Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you know, marginally climbing to about 9%, and Atiku Abubakar, on what's it called in the South on 3%. You know, that's Atiku Abubakar on 3%. Peter Obi has remained on 46%. And that's the current poll showing that. Meanwhile, in the Southwest, Peter Obi is doing 15% currently. Tinubu is doing 22%, and Abubakar is doing 4%. Meanwhile, in September, in Southwest, Peter Obi was doing just 12%, but he has now increased to around 15%, which is an encouraging sign. You know, in September, Bola Tinubu was doing 18%. It's now moved to 20%. That's in Southwest. Meanwhile, Atiku Abubakar has remained on 4% in the Southwest. So on a general scale, you know, what we are seeing is that if election is conducted today based on this poll, so there are so many different factors really. There are so many people undecided still. There are so many people that have refused to, of course, what's it called, stick their neck out for different reasons, as explained by the ANAP director and all of that. So all of these are still very much huge numbers. But the encouraging sign is that for the people polled, these are people verified to have PVCs. And the mode of polling, according to how it was explained, was very credible. The same, more or less even more credible than the pattern they used previously in the previous polls and all of that. And the beauty of this is that a good number of Nigerians, compared to before when there was high voter apathy, most numbers of Nigerians, as a matter of fact, over 90% of Nigerians polled, said they were going to vote in this election. Unlike, a lot fewer than that in the previous elections and all of that. So which makes this really, really very promising and all of that. And so I think it's huge kudos to the job that the obedient, movers and shakers are doing. It's huge kudos to the hope that is being rekindled, that Nigeria definitely will not just see the promised land, but we go we enter the promised land. So I want to encourage many Nigerians. I'm very pleased. I'm very happy. I think that these are very encouraging signs. The polls that we are seeing right now, they are very encouraging. The result of these polls definitely, is a clear indication that Nigerians are right now, on the very good part of history, and we must continue to do what we are doing. I think too that the Southeast Nigerians need to step up the game, and I know that these numbers, they are very scientific in the way they are carried out. But we cannot afford to have Peter Obi doing 68% in September in the southeast region of Nigeria, and is currently now doing 50%. That drop, we must deal with it. And some of us are very concerned because of the threats coming from some people who say that there will be no election in the east and all of that, and those threatening people, killing people, trying to create violence. I think we need to get sense. It's very important. And for Nigerians in the southeast who are willing to make this process a hit-free process, ensure that we get Peter Obi elected. Please do not hide these hooligans that are trying to truncate these elections, that are trying to create fear in the Easterners. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? If you know where they are, give them up. If you cannot report them directly to the police, send us a message on the Comrade Show. We will get it, and we will report them to the authorities so that they will be arrested. There should be peace in the southeast while this election takes place, so that we can maximize all that we can maximize to get Peter Obi elected president of Nigeria. Like I will always say, as a matter of fact, Aisha, Aisha did mention this, a few weeks back. This election is not Peter Obi's job. It is our job collectively as Nigeria. And very importantly, I will encourage all of us, make we go get our PVCs. It's very important. Make we go get our PVC. Another very important information that I want to share is this. And I want to appeal to every Nigerian, every voter. Let's be educating the electorate. Very importantly, we are going to understand that what is going to be on the ballot may not even be Labour Party, but you are going to have the logo, okay, and you will have LP. You understand what I'm saying now? But importantly, let every electorate take note of this logo. This is Labour logo, Papa, Mama, Pikin, which a lot of people, already now know. People are now aware what is Papa, Mama, Pikin, and what it stands for. That is Labour logo. That's what we are going to have, on the day. And we may not have Labour Party, but we are going to have LP. So let's take note of that. I'm going to do another broadcast on that, so that we are guided, and all of us, and for those on the field, let's keep educating the electorate that they may not see Labour Party, just like as they see PDP, APC, ZLP, they will just see LP, and it's LP they will vote for. I will prepare another broadcast for that, and of course get that done. If you are there, share this broadcast. Be encouraged. Smile as much as you could, and of course in recognition of the fact that there's so much work still to be done, but be happy that we are getting there. Peter Obi today in this election is the president of Nigeria. Peter Obi today in this election is the president of Nigeria. If Peter Obi will be president in January, it will depend on how we are going to sustain this momentum. If Peter Obi will be president on the day of election, it will depend on how we are going to sustain this momentum. So let's keep working hard. Let's keep doing the job. To make Nigeria a new Nigeria is a task that must be done by all Nigerians. My name is Comrade Lamte Mausa Oriaki. Just coming out to encourage every one of us. I am happy and very much on top of the world, knowing fully well that our job is paying off. Knowing fully well that we are getting closer to a new Nigeria. We have seen the promised land. It is now our responsibility to enter into the promised land. God bless you all. I wish you guys a very wonderful Merry Christmas, as Christmas is just a couple of days away. God bless you. Please share the broadcast and let every Nigerian see this broadcast, and let every obedient be encouraged, because the job is getting done. Bye for now.
Are you a business owner? Do you make your own products? This is your best opportunity ever. Register your brand now with the first and largest marketplace promoting Nigerian-made products. Get access to over 17 million shoppers and customers currently in need of your products. Download on Google Play Store now to register or visit ekioja.com. Focus on creating your passion. Leave the marketing to us.
Comrade Show, wait! Comrade Lante Oriente. This is the Comrade Show.